It's strange, the clarity that comes after the wreckage. I mean, standing there, holding those divorce papers, I thought of all the times I should have seen it coming. But it took that one awful night, that wretched party, for me to finally understand who Mark really was, and who I was without him. It was the night he decided to mock me in front of 40 people, the night he said I was lucky he married me. And that was the moment I knew, with a chilling certainty, that my apron was coming off for good. You see, for years, my life had been this blur of motion, cooking, cleaning, caring for Lily, supporting Mark. He had just gotten this big promotion at his company in Denver. I should have been thrilled. And I was, genuinely. I'd watched him work so hard, so dedicated, for so long. Seeing him finally get recognized, it was a proud moment. Of course, he wanted to celebrate. A huge backyard party, everyone he knew. And, of course, that meant I would be doing all the cooking. I swear, it's always like this. He refuses to hire caterers, saying no one knows his taste like I do. So, I'm the one spending hours, days even, in the kitchen, preparing enough food for 30, 40 people. And then, the cleanup. This time, I tried to suggest catering. He was getting a big bonus, it seemed fair. But Mark just brushed it off. Why spend money on outsiders when you can handle it, he'd said. No one cooks like you, Sarah. It was his classic move, butter me up while steamrolling me. I just sighed, let it go. Deep down, though, frustration simmered. I wanted him to see, to feel, how exhausting it was. The day of the party, it was pure chaos. From dawn, I was in perpetual motion. Planning, prepping, cooking 7 huge dishes, setting up the entire backyard, plates, glasses, everything. Lily, our 7-year-old, needed tending to. The one single thing I asked Mark to do was get her ready. But when guests started arriving, there was Lily, still in her pajamas. I had to drop everything, rush her into an outfit. It felt so unfair, so incredibly draining. Mark came down before the guests even settled. Instead of thanks, he just looked around and said, I expected more dishes, Sarah. That comment, it hit me harder than it should have. All that effort, the exhaustion, and all he could see was what was missing. No appreciation. Just a casual dismissal of my entire day. I kept quiet, but something inside me deflated. Then the party truly began. Mark was in his element, holding court, laughing with friends and coworkers. He loved the spotlight. Me? I was the silent engine in the background, refilling trays, making sure everyone was fed. My feet ached, my head throbbed, but I just kept moving, forcing a smile. I didn't want anyone to see how utterly spent I was. Later, the clinking of glasses started. Everyone wanted a speech from the man of the hour. Mark stood up, glowing. He thanked everyone, spoke about his journey, his new corner office. The crowd cheered. He spoke about his childhood, his parents, Patricia and Robert, who sat beaming. He even raised his glass and said he was lucky to have a beautiful family. My heart actually fluttered then. Finally, I thought. Finally, he'll acknowledge me, he said. I couldn't have been here without my wife. My chest swelled. But then, almost immediately, he tacked on, though honestly, I'd probably still be successful, just with a little more money in my bank account. Laughter. From everyone. It was a joke, right? But it twisted something inside me. Then he kept going, she's like my personal drill sergeant, always telling me what to do. Her constant nagging has really helped me develop some patience. If I can survive my wife's daily lectures, I can handle any boss. More laughter. My smile felt frozen. This wasn't playful, it was humiliating. Jessica, one of his friends, bless her heart, tried to save it. Let's also thank Sarah for all the amazing food, she said. People turned to me, smiling, nodding. For a second, I felt seen. I thanked Jessica. But Mark, he just laughed louder. Oh yeah, Sarah can definitely cook. She's had a lot of practice. Someone's got to keep the house running while I'm out doing the real work, right? He chuckled, but the room went quiet. He didn't seem to notice. He just plunged ahead. My wife's actually the lucky one, though. Let's be honest. I've given her, and honestly, even her whole family, a brand new life. Where would they be without me? Probably still stuck, struggling, going nowhere fast. I didn't just build my career, I basically built theirs, too. That was it. A cold, hard punch to the gut. He said it so casually, like it was a clever quip. But this time, no one laughed. The cheerful hum died. People looked away, uncomfortable. I stood there, frozen. Tears burned, but I refused to let them fall. Not here. Not in front of everyone I'd cooked for, sacrificed for. The words echoed, "You're the lucky one." Lucky, the sheer audacity of it. He didn't know the first thing about lucky. He didn't know I got pregnant in college, that I faced the bullying alone, that he was out partying while I gave birth to Lily alone in the hospital. He didn't know I dropped out while he finished his degree. He didn't know my own parents, Carol and David, were so ashamed they made me live in their basement with my baby. He didn't know my world became about grocery lists, laundry piles, and keeping his home pristine, all while raising our daughter, even caring for his sick dog. He didn't know he went on trips with his buddies while I hadn't had a single break in years. He certainly didn't remember when my dad, David, was in that car accident. When Carol had to sell her jewelry just to keep their house. And how I had to beg Mark to help, reminding him I'd never asked him for a penny for myself, only for my family, this one time. He finally did, begrudgingly, and then held it over my head like a moral victory ever since. "You forget how much I do for you and your family," he'd always say when we argued. "Don't act like I'm not the one holding it all up." But to say it there, in front of everyone, making me and my family sound like dependents, like charity cases. That's when the anger hit. A white-hot rage I hadn't felt before. I realized then, he didn't love me, not really. He didn't respect me. I was just invisible, a servant, a punchline. And I was done. As the claps for his speech faded, my mind was made up. Done. I was done being Mrs. Nobody. I walked away, took Lily upstairs, read her a story, tucked her in. When Mark came looking for me, annoyed, demanding I entertain his guests, I looked him dead in the eye. "This is your party, Mark. Your responsibility." He actually looked surprised. I didn't go back downstairs. I didn't clean up a single dish. I left the mess, the empty trays, the dirty glasses. For the first time, I refused. And he noticed. Oh, he noticed. "Why are you acting like this?" he demanded a few days later, staring at the growing piles. "Why the attitude? You haven't cooked for me." His voice was sharp, entitled. "I've done my part for years," I told him, calm as I could be. "Cooked, cleaned, everything. The one time I stopped, you act like I've abandoned responsibilities. Maybe if you actually notice what I did every day, you'd realize this is what it looks like when I stop." He scoffed. "I don't have a clean shirt for work. What am I supposed to do?" "You're a grown man, Mark," I said, my voice barely a whisper, but firm. "You know how to use a washing machine. Wash your shirts." That set him off. Yelling, hands flying. I was petty, disrespectful. He was the one bringing in the money. He was furious that I was no longer quietly making his life easier. And in that moment, it crystallized, he didn't see me as a partner. Just a service provider. And now that I wasn't providing, he felt entitled to be angry. This last week, this entire situation, it's been painful. But it's also been a turning point. Something inside me woke up. I couldn't go back to being invisible. I needed out. I knew I couldn't leave right away, no support, no savings. So, I found a part-time job, despite his loud disapproval. You should be home with Lily, he'd say. I provide for you. But I kept going. That part-time job became full-time. I opened my own bank account. I saved every penny. He noticed the change, of course. Suspicion, accusations, picking fights. He tried to belittle me back into my place, but I stayed calm, kept my head down, kept moving forward. And now, 6 months later, I'm here. I've found a small, safe apartment for Lily and me. This week, I packed our bags, left the keys on the kitchen counter, and those divorce papers for him to sign. He exploded. Called me selfish, ungrateful, threw a full-blown tantrum. But I don't care. Let him scream. Let him sit in the mess he created. I'm not cleaning it up this time. His parents, Patricia and Robert, are livid too, calling me a homewrecker. Threatening to take Lily. But that will never happen. I will fight tooth and nail for her. She deserves peace, a happy home, not one filled with yelling and control. It's been 4 months since I left. The divorce is finalized. I got what the court deemed fair, alimony and child support. Mark tried everything, begging, yelling, delaying paperwork, hoping I'd change my mind. He played the victim, told everyone I was going through a phase, influenced by social media. Said I was breaking up our family for no reason. Now he's living with Patricia, apparently unable to manage the house alone. Patricia calls me a homewrecker. Says I should have stayed quiet, cooked his meals, smiled through the disrespect. No, thank you. He still calls me constantly, 20, 30 times a day. Says he's broke, it's all my fault. He swings between begging me to come back and accusing me of ruining his life. I ignore every call. It's wild, watching someone who treated me like I was invisible suddenly act like he can't live without me. But he doesn't miss me. He misses the convenience. The maid, the cook, the childcare provider, the emotional punching bag. That's what he lost. And I'm so incredibly glad he did. What do you think was the hardest part about finally taking that step?